Snuka here. In this video, I just want to show you how easy it is to store white granulated sugar for long-term storage. As you see in front of you, we have the Great Value 5-pound batch of sugar. And all you really need for this is, of course, the sugar. You'll need a Sharpie, pair of scissors, some duct tape, Mylar bag, hot iron, food grade bucket, and then something to iron on top of. I use this plastic case. It's your choice if you want to use plastic or not. Not the best thing to iron on top of, but because it's reinforced, I don't leave it on there too long. I do pretty decent with it. But if you ever hope to use your iron again, I wouldn't use plastic. I'll use another surface. But that's just what works best for me. Now, if you notice in the list of these items here, nowhere did I make mention of using an oxygen absorber. So in other words, I'm telling you, don't use oxygen absorbers unless you want your sugar to be a nice big chunk of brick. Don't know who all out there enjoys having the sugar that looks like a big chunk of brick, but it's certainly not me. It's pretty much about how I want my sugar to look right there. Nice and free flowing. So we're going to go ahead and get this stuff started, and I'll give you a couple of tips along the way to help you out. And yeah, this should be a pretty quick process. So of course the first thing you want to do is you want to take your store-bought bag of the sugar. You want to transfer it over into your Mylar bag. I've already done that, and if you're using the 1 gallon bag like myself, then you'll notice that within the Mylar bag, the 5 pound of sugar only fits to pretty much a little bit below halfway. So I highly recommend that you get at least probably 8 to 10 pounds of sugar into 1 gallon Mylar bag. That way you can fill it up most of the way. For demonstration purposes, I'm still going to continue on with this. I'm just going to modify my bag some. But the reason why I recommend you add at least 8 to 10 pounds of sugar for a 1 gallon bag is that way you can still use these tearaways here without having to modify your bag. So that way if you ever need to get access to it, you can just rip this open instead of needing scissors for it. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll just bite the dust of this one, no big deal. But for you all at home, make sure you try to get at least 8 to 10 pounds of sugar inside of your 1 gallon Mylar bag so you can utilize it to its most potential. So for the ironing part, you just want to get it down flat. You know, if you waste a little bit of sugar, don't worry about it. You want to try to keep the port open and clear of sugar so you get a nice hot seal. But if you waste a little bit, you know, it's okay. Not a big deal. You just want to make sure you clean it up because of pests and things like that. So go ahead and iron it shut. And this is pretty much like the other videos I make. You know, I like to iron on the front course. And I like to hit the corners just a little bit. And then once I'm done with that, flip it over to the back side. And as you can see, there's a little sugar spilt there, but that's okay. Flip it over to the back. And then iron it again for extra security. Now the best way to get the best seal is to once again keep the sugar from coming out to the top, which pretty much means, you know, you don't want to fill it all the way up to the top. You want to make sure you have enough slack, not too much slack, but enough slack to where you can get a pretty good seal. And I got a couple of sugars up here, but that's okay. I'm still going to work through it. This is going to be just fine. And that's why you do front to back, front to back. And then once you finish your front to back sealing, you're going to want to do your test. You're going to want to hold it upside down and see if any sugar comes out. If you have any sugar come out, then that means you need to go ahead and reseal. I'm looking here, I'm feeling it. Feels like a pretty good seal. Don't see any sugar coming out. So we're just going to go ahead and test this a couple more times, and then this will be good to go. So once you've gone ahead and you've bagged up your sugar, once you've bagged it, it's time to tag it. I'll go ahead and just I'll go ahead and just show you what I tag mine as. So of course I put on there the unit of measure, such as 5 pounds. The expiration date, December 2018 to 2025. That's just a date that I'm comfortable with. However, they say that sugar stores indefinitely, just depending how you do it. Then, of course, I put the nomenclature of what's inside the bag, which is, well, white sugar. And so now to talk about exactly how you can have your sugar stored the longest. Now, can you possibly store it in a bag that it came with? Yes, you can. But ask yourself this: how resistant is this bag in regards to humidity? It's not going to be as resistant as this Mylar bag. Mylar bags will be much more resistant to humidity than a paper bag. As well, if you're kind of worried about humidity, what you can do is you can take some rice and you can put it inside of the bag and seal it up. And those little grains of rice will, of course, absorb the moisture inside the sugar. But once again, don't put oxygen absorbers in there unless you just want a big brick. It's your choice. As well, if you're still worried about the moisture, you live in a very heavily moistured area with high humidity, you can put baking powder or baking soda inside of this bucket, with the box, without the box, whatever, and that can help absorb the humidity that goes in there. Now, of course, you want to put your stuff inside your bucket, and this is not all I'm going to stick in there. I'm going to add much more stuff, as much as I can fit in there. But I'm just showing you as a representation of what you need to do once you've bagged and tagged your stored goods, such as the sugar. So like I said, if you worry about the humidity, you can add some grains of rice in there, and you can also put in baking powder or baking soda to help get off some of that humidity. The final thing I usually do, which I pretty much do in all my preps, is I'm going to cut off the nutritional facts. This way you can just see the caloric intake, the sugars, things of that such. Real simple thought process. I'm going to stick it in there. A couple other things you can do, especially since it's sugar, used for baking and stuff. Put some recipes in there. Because I'm telling you, when that stuff hits the fan, you're not going to remember everything. You're going to forget some stuff. You're not going to have everything around you, especially if you have to bug out for whatever reason. So I highly recommend you take the nutritional facts, you put them in there, in any other type of recipe, especially since it's dealing with sugars. So hopefully this video is informational to you. I just really wanted to show you how simple it is to store white sugar a long time, and some of the added benefits of it, such as it being, I didn't mention yet, but such as it being a carbohydrate, which is used for energy and things like that. So hopefully this video was useful for you. Please rate, comment, subscribe. And as always, I will see you soon. Till then, take care and later.